So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something a wee bit different, in the fact is I'm actually using the embossing folder. So this embossing folder actually comes within the box as well. So it's not just all about dies. So what we can do is we can focus on the folder, and then that way you can see the different things that you can make. So what I'm just doing is, if I then bring these layers in, so I'm using the papers that come within the box as well. So let's just layer these ones up. So as always, just use our tape runner for speed. So I'm just going all the way around, and we're just going to place that into place just like that. So we're just left with a really nice fine green layer. So again, we're just then going to take the adhesive all the way around. Now I've just taken one of the card blanks and I've actually cut it down, so it's actually 6x4. And I'm then just going to place that over the top as well. So that's that one. So what I can do is set that one to the side. Now, because all that it is just embossing, now it will obviously go through your Junior or your Daddy, but will also go through your Gemini Mini, and this would go through with your plastic shim. So I've just taken one of the papers, and then when you've done the embossing, it comes out like this. So I'm not sure if we can quite see all that. There we go. Look at all that detail. Now that is the embossing side, there is the deboss side, so you could actually use either one, but I'm going to use the emboss side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring in a couple of our water reactive ink pads. So I've taken our Oasis, and I've also taken our Spring Meadow. And then what I'm just going to do is just randomly all over, I'm just going to pick out some of the detail, and I'm just going to go over the top just like so. So I'm just picking it up, and what I'm doing is I'm trying not to go into the actual centre. However, if any ink does get picked up for the centre, I'm not actually too bothered about it. It'll all add to that wee bit of a rustic effect, because you don't want it prim and proper. So there's that colour. We might come back to that one, but let's just add a wee bit of the Oasis. And if it overlaps, it doesn't matter, because what we're doing is we're actually blending them in together. Both the shades, the Spring Meadow and the Oasis, are actually the lightest tones of the family. So let's just pick some of that detail out just there. So we're just going over. And what I'm doing is I'm not doing any of that blending onto the actual embossed area. I'm just going straight on. I'm tapping some of that colour. Sometimes we need just a wee bit more. So I'm just picking all that up. So again, I'm just starting lightly. And then what I'm just doing is I'm just going back and forwards just to get it a wee bit darker to the shade that I want. And even when it comes to the edges just there, just maybe just deepen them a wee bit more. But then what I am just going to do once again, just to kind of like blend them back in, I'm just going back to the Spring Meadow, and then once again just adding that, and I'm just overlapping where I've gone over with the Oasis. So if I just pick all that one up, so we're just going over the top just like that. So it's just kind of like just over the joined areas, and then I'm just going to go all the way around just like that. And then what happens is that just helps to blend them in. So although they're two colour families, they're the lightest, so they will still work just beautifully. So let's just move these ones to the side. So then that gives you that detail just there. So if I bring that up for you to see, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Then what I'm just going to do, bringing in the stamp set, which obviously also comes included, and then what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to pick out the congratulations. So I'm just going to take that one just off, and then what I'm going to do is if I just bring in my stamping platform, I'm just going to add it. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to position it on into the middle, and I do this just to get it straight. So once I'm happy with the wording being straight, I'm just going to go over the top, and I'm just going to press. And then what I'm doing is, because I'm not adding any extra colour to the middle, I'm just going to use my Jet Black Harmony Quick Dry ink pad. I like to stamp sentiments with this one. Of course, if I was going to add any alcohol inks around it, then I would use our alcohol proof. If I was going to colour over the top with any watercolour products, I would then of course use our waterproof ink pad. So just trying to line that up without getting my head in the way, and I'm just going to press the sentiment just like that. So that's then our actual main base focal point just done. So then what I can just do is bring in a couple more of the matching colour papers, which is here, and then we're just going to layer them up. So I'm just working my way around, and then for this one, what I'm going to do is for the last layer underneath the green layer, I'm going to add some 3D foam pads. You can of course use glue gel, or what you can do is just use your tape runner. Keep it all one dimensional, but it is completely up to you. So we're just going to line them up, and then if I bring in some of my foam pads, which I've got just aside here, so I'm just going to pop them over the top. And when it comes to your foam pads, no matter what you're doing, some people will tend to put foam pads just like this, that I'm doing right now, like that, and then leave it. Always put one within the middle, because the last thing you want is over time for that to dip like that, and then that's what would happen. So it's sitting on your card blank, but over time the middle would dip in because there's nothing there holding it. So always put, even if it's just, I'm just going to pop a full one, but even if it was, if you don't want to waste a full foam pad, even if it's just a small piece just within the middle, just there, and then that's just going to hold that into place. So it doesn't have to be a large one. So I'm just then going to peel them all off. And then what I'm then going to do is bring in our card blank, and we're just going to place that just within the middle. Just in the middle, just like that. And then we're just then going to press like that. Then what I'm going to do is bring in some of these gems. So I do have these gold ones, and I've got some of these turquoise ones as well. And then what I'm just going to do is the gold ones, I'm just going to take my pokey tool, which is here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 3 there and 3 there, and they are self-adhesive, but if you've heard me say in the past, I always add just a wee dot of our tacky glue gel. So this is our Collal tacky glue gel, so it does dry clear. So if you see any bits of white just splurging out, do not worry, because it does, like I say, dry clear. So I'm just getting it on there before I actually just pop it into place using the end of my pokey tool. So then when I'm happy with that, and then I'm just pressing down just with my pokey tool, and what that'll do is that will then instantly grab with the adhesive, and then the actual wet glue will then dry and make the gems rock solid onto your papers. So we're just then placing that one on. So I'm just going to leave 3 in the top, 3 in the bottom, and then what I am just going to do is take the turquoise ones and just press that into place, and then take the glue again just on the butterfly body, just 1, 2, 3, and then we're just going to press the 3 into place. So 1, 2, and then 3. So always just roughly get them on where you need, and then I'll just come back and just using my pokey tool, I'm just going to press them into place like so. And then there we go. There is that one, another one that we've now made, but this time we've used the embossing folder and we've just inked over the top. So let me come a wee bit closer for you to see. So we've got all that detail just within the flower. We've used the embossing folder with all that inks as well, just something a wee bit different. And then some of the other ones that you could be making is of course this one just here, then we could be making that one as well. And then what we could also be doing is using this one here. So this one is of course kind of like paper piecing, and then we've also got black on white, as well as so many more. So that's another thing that you could be doing with the outline subscription box.